Hello my friends, once again I welcome all of you to my video lecture. Today I want to talk about a play written by a person who practically needs no introduction. If I am to make the list of the great works of world literature, certainly I will place Mahabharata on the top, and next to Mahabharata I will place his works. Once upon a time, Great Britain ruled so many countries of the world, and the people of those countries had to fight hard for independence, and today British Empire has become a matter of the past. Nevertheless, people of those countries and also people of all the countries adore one British author, and he is no other than William Shakespeare. Yes, my friend. Today I am going to talk about William Shakespeare and one of his greatest romantic comedies, Twelfth Night. People across the world love to listen to him, love to read his works in their own languages, which is why his works have been translated into all the major languages of the world. In fact, William Shakespeare industry is flourishing by leaps and bounds. British Empire has become a matter of the past, but his empire is gradually expanding. Now the question comes to our mind that why William Shakespeare Matters during his lifetime? Only 18 of his plays were published in quarto edition, and after his death, two of his friends, fellow actors, Hemming and Condell, published 36 of his plays in Folio edition, which is popularly known as First Folio in 1623. In all, he wrote 37 plays. He also wrote 2 narrative poems, and then he wrote 154 sonnets. And all his works are popular among the people across the culture. His greatest contemporary, Ben Jonson, paid the ultimate tribute to him that epitomizes the basic ethos of William Shakespeare, that he is not of an age, but of all ages, not of a country, but of all countries. Now let us see why William Shakespeare matters. Born in the small market town of Stratford-on-Avon in April 1564, William Shakespeare is, and there is every possibility that he will be the greatest writer in the history of European literature. Homer and Dante seem to be his potential rivals, but in variety, in vividness, he easily surpasses them. In fact, his name has become the symbol of ultimate writer. People say you don't have to become Shakespeare, that means you don't have to become a writer. His name has become the symbol of writer. Why William Shakespeare matters? Number one, William Shakespeare was extraordinarily capable of capturing each and every type of human emotions. In his plays, we find the best of human emotions, the worst of human emotions. We meet the greatest criminal person, we meet the most beautiful person, we meet the average person, we meet the clown, we meet the fool, we meet the average person. And in delving deep into the inner workings of this mind, he was so empathetic that we cannot raise any question of doubt to the representation of these people, of their minds. When he makes his Hamlet say, to be or not to be, to be or not to be, that is the question, whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, to be or not to be. He actually speaks of every individual's position. Hamlet is the prisoner of indecision. We all become the prisoner of indecision in one stage or the other in our life. Hamlet is no other than you and I. Hamlet is every man. So to say, William Shakespeare's plays have universal appeal. They are relevant in all the cultures, in all the countries, in all the times. The second important point is that William Shakespeare was again extraordinarily capable of representing his characters with surpassing vividness. When he portrayed a king, he became the king. When he portrayed the greatest criminal mind, he became the criminal creatively. When he portrayed a fool, he became the fool. He portrayed all the characters with negative capability. He possessed the negative capability in the truest sense of the term. Third important point would be that William Shakespeare had extraordinary command over the English language. We can say that he exploited the prospect of the English language in the best possible way. When he did not find an appropriate word to express a particular emotion, he invented it. There are so many words, so many phrases, so many expressions that we use in our day-to-day life. Those were created by William Shakespeare. When I say I am lonely, when I say I do not, actually I am using Shakespeare's words. When I say what you are saying is all Greek to me, I am quoting Shakespeare. When I say some are born great, some achieve greatness, some have greatness thirst upon them, I am quoting Shakespeare. William Shakespeare's language is compelling, enduring, poetic. The next point would be that he can make us laugh and he can make us weep. When we see Malvolio wearing the yellow stockings and when he starts smiling, we can't help but laugh. And we laugh the moment we remember him. And when Cordelia dies, when Desdemona dies, when Desdemona is murdered by Othello, we weep. We weep for a long time and we cannot forget those scenes. William Shakespeare can make us think. In fact, William Shakespeare's plays are the best training for life. The next point would be that William Shakespeare had a great sense of music. Through his plays, he composed some of the most beautiful songs in the English language. Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me? Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me, and play his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather. Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and play his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather. So, that is why William Shakespeare matters. That is why William Shakespeare's industry is flourishing by leaps and bounds. In the first folio, William Shakespeare's plays are categorized into three groups: tragedy, comedy, and history plays. For the sake of convenience, his comedies can also be sub-categorized into four groups. Some of his comedies can be regarded as tragicomedy, for example, The Merchant of Venice. Some of his comedies can be regarded as dramatic romance, for example, The Tempest. Some of his comedies can be regarded as dark comedy, for example, Measure for Measure or Troilus and Cressida. And some of his comedies can be regarded as romantic comedy, for example, the present play that I am going to talk about, that is Twelfth Night or What You Will. It has one main title, Twelfth Night. It has the subtitle, or What You Will. It has one main plot and one subplot. In the main plot, there are four characters: Viola and Sebastian. They are the twin, sister and brother. Viola is the sister, Sebastian is the brother. Then there is Orsino, who is the Duke of Illyria. And there is Olivia, who is the Countess in the Kingdom of Illyria. Now in the subplot, we have some characters who stay in the house of Olivia. First of all, Malvolio, who is the steward of Countess Olivia. Then there is Sir Toby, who is the kinsman of Olivia. Then there is Sir Toby's friend Andrew Ogochick, and there is the lady in waiting Maria, and there is the fool Fisty. Now let me come to the main plot. As the drama begins, we meet Orsino, who is the Duke of Illyria, and he is in utter frustration for the simple reason that he loves Countess Olivia. He wants to marry her, but Olivia cannot accept his marriage proposal for the simple reason that very recently she has lost her brother, and 1 year ago she also lost her father. She is in deep mourning, and she has decided that for another 7 years she will not engage in revelry, she will not meet anybody, she will not think of marrying anybody so that she can keep the memories of her brother alive. But Orsino cannot forget her. Orsino sends messages after messages through his people, but he does not get any positive response. Therefore, he is in utter frustration. He thinks that none can ever love Olivia the way he loves. Now in the second scene, we go to the Illyrian shore where we meet Viola. Viola and her brother, they were on a voyage, but their ship was wrecked. She survived the wreck, and luckily she is held by one sea captain, and she is under the impression that her brother Sebastian is drowned. So she tries to gather information about the island from the sea captain. She has to find some works for livelihood. She comes to know about Olivia and also about Orsino. She in fact wants to work for Olivia, but since she is not in a position to meet anybody, she will not allow anybody to enter into her house. She decides to work for Orsino, but for that she has to take one decision. She takes one decision. She changes her appearance and she takes one male name. From now onward, all the other characters will know her as Cesario. She is now a male person. Now when Duke Orsino meets Viola, that is suppose Cesario, he becomes happy because suppose Cesario possessed a pleasant personality, because she had aristocratic upbringing, aristocratic blood, and now he sends suppose Cesario to Countess Olivia to deliver his messages and to persuade her so that she accepts his marriage proposal. Now Olivia, who has already decided not to think of marrying anybody, at least for another 7 years, falls in love with supposed Cesario. Cesario cannot accept this proposal for the simple reason that she is not Cesario, she is Viola, and she has already fallen in love with Orsino, because she has seen the real Orsino, because while working as a page boy, she could recognize the real man in Orsino, but she cannot express it because she is Cesario, she is not Viola for the time being. Therefore, the main plot of the play is basically of this love triangle. Now I must tell you one thing, that all the complications in the play arise from Viola's disguise, and Viola has to play a very crucial role because often she tends to become Viola, but she has to control herself so that she appears like Cesario. Now let me go to the subplot. As I told you, in the household of Countess Olivia, there are some people, and the steward is Malvolio. Except Malvolio, all the other people, that is Sir Toby, his friend Andrew Ogochik, Fisty, Maria, they love to drink, they love to sing, they love to dance, they love to engage in revelry. But Malvolio, he is a very strict person who has the capacity to resist himself from all these pleasures, and he cannot tolerate their revelry. Therefore, all of a sudden he comes and stops them, disturbs them, interferes them. In the process, he is the joy kill. Therefore, Maria hatches one plan. She writes a letter imitating exactly the handwriting of Olivia and expresses love for him. When he reads the letter, he takes each and every word written in it for granted. He is under the illusion that Olivia has fallen in love with him, and in that letter it is written that some are born great, some achieve greatness, some have greatness thrust upon them. He is told to smile all the time. He is told to wear, the yellow stocking with crossed garter, and from the next day onward, the man who does not smile starts smiling. The man who does not wear such type of dress starts wearing, and he goes to Olivia. Olivia was surprised, and she becomes 100% sure that he has gone mad, and all the other people get the golden opportunity to put him in confinement in a dark room, into a dark room. Let me come back to the main plot. Now, Sebastian, whom Viola thought to be drowned, is not drowned. He was saved by one benevolent captain, held by one benevolent captain, and when he comes to the kingdom of Illyria, all the other people take him for supposed Cesario, and particularly Andrew Ogochik is secretly planning to marry Olivia. He has already developed a soft corner for her, and he was extremely jealous of supposed Cesario. When he meets Sebastian, he gets ready to fight, against him, fight with him, thinking that he is supposed Cesario. Then Olivia comes, intervenes, and she implores Sebastian, thinking him to be supposed Cesario. He was utterly confused, but nevertheless, he sees a very good prospect of marriage because she is beautiful, Olivia is beautiful, and more than that, Olivia is wealthy, and Olivia belongs to aristocratic family. Therefore, he accepts the marriage proposal. But his appearance has created many confusions among all the characters. So much so that time has come for Viola, for Cesario, to reveal her true identity. And at a climactic moment, she reveals her true identity, and Orsino realizes that though he thinks that he is in love with Olivia, actually he is in love with Viola, and he accepts Viola as his wife, and all the confusions are now removed, and Sebastian has already married Olivia, and now their relationship is settled. But one person who cuts a very sorry figure is Malvolio, and Malvolio is at last released but he vows to take revenge. And though he seemed to be portrayed as an antagonist in the play, but I think he is more sinned against than sinning. He may be the joy kill, but he is not at all a harmful person, and he does not deserve that punishment. And ultimately, he leaves the stage. Now, in a brief way, this is the story. This is the plot of Twelfth Night. It is a well-knit plot. Main plot and subplot, they are well linked. So, this is the play. Now, the two things are to be taken into account. The first is the significance of the title. As I told you, that it has the main title Twelfth Night, and then it has the subtitle Or What You Will. Now, Twelfth Night usually falls on 6th of January or sometimes on 5th of January. It is the greatest occasion for revelry, because after Christmas, this is the day, on the eve of Epiphany, where revelry reaches its peak. People drink, people dance, people sing, and particularly the servants, they disguise as masters. In the process, the social hierarchy is turned upside down. Now, definitely you will think that why William Shakespeare has given this title to the play, because the play does not have direct reference to this grand occasion. Nevertheless, the way the play is developed, the way the things take place in the play resemble the things that take place on the 12th night, that is, in the household of Olivia. Except Malvolio, Sir Toby, Andrew Overcheek, Maria, Fisty, they love to engage in revelry. They love to sing, they love to drink, they love to dance. And then in the play, disguise plays a very important role. As I have told you, that Viola's disguising herself as Cesario creates all the confusion. Therefore, though the play does not have a direct reference to the 12th night as such, nevertheless, the play mimics the things that take place on the 12th night, and the play develops almost like that. And as I told you, disguise here plays a very important role, where an aristocratic lady like Viola becomes the page boy. Let me come to the subtitle. Now, what this subtitle means? William Shakespeare seems to suggest that if you are not happy with the title Twelfth Night, as it does not have the direct reference to the real 12th night, you can interpret the play in your own way. That means, or what you will. That means, the play can be subjected to your interpretation. Now, let me come to the play as a romantic comedy. Now, Shakespearean romantic comedy does not necessarily mean that it has much of romance, but there is one specific thing, that all his romantic comedies end in marriages. And in this play, we have already seen that the play comes to an end with at least 2 marriages. Sebastian marrying Olivia, Orsino marrying, accepting Viola as his wife. Secondly, the second important thing is that in Shakespeare's romantic comedy, it is always women character who play the most significant role. Now, in the play, Viola is the most intelligent character, dynamic character, attractive character. In fact, it is she who takes the play, action of the play forward, though the play is not named after her, but she is the protagonist. The third point would be that the play is full of, the elements of humor. There are so many scenes where, we have to laugh. The play is full of jokes, and then the dialogues are witty. For example, some are born great, some achieve greatness, some have greatness thrust upon them. So many dialogues, in the play, which are very, very witty. And then play is set, the setting of the play is a bit exotic because Illyria is not a very known place. And the last important point is that the play has a rich musical atmosphere. At least there are 6 songs, and here the singer is Fisty. And in the very opening scene, in fact, in the very, Orsino, in his first dialogue, first of all, he refers to music. If music be the food of love, play on. And the play comes to an end with a song by Fisty. So it has a rich musical atmosphere. And then illusion plays a very important role in this play. First of all, Viola. She is under the illusion that her brother is dead. Her brother Sebastian is under the illusion that, his sister is dead. Orsino is under the illusion that he is in love with Olivia. Olivia is under the illusion that she will not be able to marry anybody at least for 7 years. But all the illusions are ultimately revealed, and we have a very happy ending in this play. Thank you so much. See you once again. Have a very, very nice day.